God is in the water. Someone said this yesterday as my sister in the ministry, Jackie Lewis, and her whole congregation watched as their church building burned down. God is in the water. And I thought about this as one of the strongest and most beautiful Jesus-following congregations in the world. One of this church's most faithful allies in the struggle, Middle Collegiate Church, had its building burned down early yesterday morning. God is in the water. I thought about this as our friends on the West Coast watched and waited during a relentless fire season this year, ready with their go bags if they could afford them, and their phone alerts if they have them. God is in the water. I thought about this as incarcerated people were paid 37 cents an hour in California to fight these fires. Looking at the life-saving water used to cool down these fires, I couldn't help but to think, look at God. But I need to be clear. Many people look at the totality of an event in history and assign all of that to God, but that's not correct. Not everything that happens is an act of God. And I firmly believe that God does not cause harm. But from the ashes, from the despair and the grieving and the pain and the fear and the loss, from these dry bones, God knows how to rise. And that, by the way, is the point of baptism, which returns us to our text. I was talking to someone the other day who expressed their discomfort. It was actually my mom, so I'll call her out. But she expressed her discomfort in the way that immersion baptism looks. Why does it look like they're drowning, she asked. Every time my father would baptize, or my grandfather was a minister, she said, every time my father would baptize someone, I would look away because it looked like they were drowning. And I explained that that's intentional in a way because they are. There's an ending symbolized in the ritual. But the gift of baptism and the resurrection it promises is that there's always going to be a new beginning. So even though you're in the water for a minute and you're deep down in there, you come back up. And there is no such thing as an end. Death doesn't win. The grave has no victory. And God is in those waters where you're safe and cooling things down, bringing the matter from flame hot to cool enough to hold tenderly. Tragically, our friends at Middle Collegiate Church will never be able to see the light peering through their priceless Tiffany windows, and they won't feel the warmth of the wood pews installed in 1892. They won't sit crammed in those pews as they did. But you know what? While all of that burned, their signs adorning their big open front doors, those signs remained. And do you know what they said? On one side, it said, Black Lives Matter. And on the other, it said, just love. God is in these waters with a revolutionary love. God is in the cooling and the cleansing, the moment that we arise from holding our breath. God is in the first step we take when we can safely leave the house unmasked. God is in the embrace we can safely give our at-risk elders who have missed us so much. God is in the waters, and God is in all of these moments of healing. Because that's what the promise of baptism is. And my child schooled me about this recently, by the way. She's eager for her own baptism. When my husband asked her, well, what does baptism even mean to you? She answered, it's like you get to take a shower all day long, forever. And just to be clear, she loves showers. And God's in the shower. God's in the waters. God's in the cleansing and in the fresh start. God is. And while that incendiary blaze of evil tries to set you off your course and burn the wrong things down. Just remember that God is in the water saying, chill, be calm. You are mine, beloved, in whom I am well pleased, no matter what somebody else may tell you. So now we build. Amen.